Okay. Excuse me, I have a frog in my throat. You know, back in the day we would say throat. So, this past Sunday, I went to a concert with my mom and one of my sisters there. And, you know, when you're entering into Baltimore now, I know you guys are going to be mad, but I really hate Baltimore. I just hate it for a variety of reasons. But anyway, we were entering Baltimore, and you start to see what is presumed to be homeless people. White, black, whatever. Where we were going, there was more, I think, white homeless people. Now, my husband happened to call on the phone at the same time as someone was approaching in a car. Now, I don't typically like rolling down windows or anything, but I will open it a slit and hand out $1. My mother said something similar. She's like, yeah, you know what? I don't try to judge. I just give $1 or whatever. And my husband was on the line. And, you know, he hates it. He's like, don't give any money. Now, for a variety of reasons, there's safety reasons when, you know, you don't know what people are going to do walking up to your car. And he also sometimes, my husband sees the world more black and white than I do. I do see some shades of gray. And so when I was talking about my mom, and she pretty much agreed, I had explained to my husband before why I give $1 or whatever I have. You know, he's like, don't you do it. Don't you do it. That's my card telling me I should rest. So I'm like, you know, he's like, don't do it. Don't do it. You shouldn't be giving them $1. And he has all his reasons. But let me tell you why I give $1. I give $1 because, number one, I want to. Number two, everyone's always like, oh, it's one big scam. It could be, but looking at the people, they didn't look like they were scamming. Number two, they look like they needed it. Number two, I can't sit here and judge. You know, I don't know what they're going to spend $1 on. Maybe that day they really were hungry. Maybe that day they were choosing to get high. I don't know. But I feel like oftentimes, many of us get on our high horse. When we're having a stressed out day or whatever, we drink wine, maybe we'll go eat comfort food, maybe we will overindulge in sexual activity with people who we shouldn't be with, maybe we'll go binge play a computer game, whatever that means. Maybe we'll gamble. I don't know. Everyone has their mechanism for coping. Some people just sleep. And what I'm saying is, who's to say how different that is if we're going to go have a glass or 2 or 3 of wine or beer or alcohol? Some people may get high. That's not to say that I want to throw it down the drain, but everyone is trying to cope. And no, I'm not saying give someone money so they can go do something bad with it. What I'm saying is I don't know what they're going to do with that $1. What I do know is they look like they're in need of it. If they scammed me out of $1, then they scammed me. But I feel like if I have it, I should be a blessing to someone. Maybe that day they were just really going to go get a cheeseburger. I don't know. But I feel like we see people who are struggling, and we all judge. We say we don't, but all of us judge in some way, shape, or form. I judge all the time. When I shouldn't, but I do. I judge all the time. I judge when people put out some of these silly podcasts and say some silly things. The point I'm making is when I see people who are struggling, now I don't fully roll down my window or anything because you might be trying to do something weird. I have just enough where I can slip it through, right? Maybe that in itself could be deemed offensive. I don't know. What I do know is I don't know what they're going to do with that money. And I feel like we get on our high horse and say, oh, they're just going to go do X. And I'm like, how is that different from what you're doing? You go home and you have your drink. You go home and you play your games. You go overindulge in something. Maybe their overindulgence to cope is, I don't know. And yes, I do know some people have grown accustomed to living that way. I think part of it is some sort of mental illness. But I feel like it's so easy for us to judge everybody. Now, my husband, he sees the world much more black and white than I do. I feel like, I don't know. My heart just says give $1. And no, this isn't a virtue signal, right? Because chances are they're probably going to go do something bad with it. But I don't know. So anyway, I'm just curious. What do you guys think? I mean, you know, my husband's like, you have to stop doing that. And he gets mad. Like I said, when he was on the phone, I was talking to I had my mom, you know, and he was like, and I was like, Mom, he's getting ready to get mad because I'm getting ready to give $1. He's like, now you know how I feel about that, you know. But that's just where my heart is at with it. It is what it is. Just like with clothing and shoes and stuff like that, you know, some people sell all that stuff. I don't sell stuff. I'm like, it's going to be a blessing to someone else. Now, whether you take something that I've had and you sell it, it's on you. But I just feel like I've been really fortunate. If I've been really blessed to have experienced something or to have something, then I can just be a blessing to others. That's just where I'm at with it. And no, I don't keep a ton of money in my car. But I'm telling you, when I'm out and about and if I see somebody, if I have the dollars, sometimes I don't. Like, I'm not going to give you like any like major bill of money, but if I have $1, I give it. That's just where I'm at with it. Let me know your both thoughts, and go ahead. Yeah. Leave a comment. Give me a thought, and go ahead and subscribe.